We have too many movies. 2025 had a truly ludicrous amount of movies. I could get into the really weird connections like 2 animated throwbacks to 50s late night movies where green alien goo takes over everyone in the area and gives them glowing eyes and it intends to spread, or 2 comic accurate Hope Corps superhero movies that rebooted their franchise where the villain gets defeated by a black hole. But in 2025, I don't even need to do those weird coincidences. Forget having 3 Marvel movies in the same year. We had 2 Predator movies, 2 SpongeBob movies, 2 John Wick movies, 2 animated Batman movies. Both of them are about what if the characters were in different countries in different time periods, and 2 Lupin the Third movies. To be clear, that's not Lupin the Third with the word third. That's the spin-off series from Lupin the Third, which is titled Lupin the Third. So it's not even the Lupin series. It is Lupin the IIIRD. We have 2 of those this year. How do we have multiple movies from this many franchises in the same year? Oh, and we also have 2 documentaries about P. Diddy specifically, which kind of makes sense, but if I had a nickel. Oh, and you already knew about the live-action How to Train Your Dragon movie, but did you know about The Legend of Ochi, which is a second live-action How to Train Your Dragon movie where they just filed off the serial numbers? But we also have so many movies that we have The Astronaut and Astronaut. We have Rust and Trust, The Sound and the History of Sound, K-pop Demon Hunters and Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, Dollhouse and Gabby's Dollhouse the movie, The New Avengers and The Toxic Avenger, Final Destination and Final Reckoning, Snow White and the Death of Snow White, Zero AD and Zero, F1 and G20, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and Your Friends and Neighbors, Flight Risk and Fight or Flight, Warfare, War of the Worlds and Words of War, Friendship, Animal Friends and The Friend, Ash and Avatar Fire and Ash, Summer of 69 and Hell of a Summer, Animal Friends, Animal Farm and Magic Farm, and In Your Dreams and Train Dreams, and both of those came to Netflix specifically on the same day. But those are the weak coincidences. Yes, we have so many movies that I don't even need to focus on those ones. We have 2 different movies titled Holland. We have 2 movies called Good Boy and a TV show called Good Boy. We have 2 TV shows called Lazarus. And we have a movie called The Residents and a TV show called The Residents. But you know what? Those weird coincidences are fun. Let's keep doing this. We have 2 black comedies about going to stay at a rich person's house. We have 2 movies about pop stars who go on vocal rest. We have 2 rom-coms where both members of the couple are a really long way from each other and they have to bridge that gap in an apocalypse. We have 2 movies where the villain's plan is to kidnap the girl of the heist crew and force them to do a job for them. We have a movie and a TV show about the devil's bounty hunters in Appalachia. We have 2 horror movies where someone tries to kill someone by exploiting their peanut allergy. And we have 2 movies where a parent dies so a symbol of innocence uses magic to bring them back to life. But that's not all. We have 2 movies that claim to be inspired by the true story that inspired Shakespeare's play, but is obviously historical fiction at best. We also have 2 weird adaptations of Hamlet. I'm counting Grand Theft Hamlet as a 2025 movie because there was no way to watch it in 2024. We also have 2 movies where a badass black woman plays the President of the United States who is a moral paragon. We have 2 murder mystery slasher comedies where the big reveal is that the slasher is a couple who are motivated by a murder kink. We have 3 movies where a girl named Iris is at a cabin in the woods. We have 2 biopic musicals. I know that doesn't sound weird. In fact, it sounds very low. We have a lot more than 2 musical biopics every year, but I didn't say musical biopics. I said biopic musicals. These are movies that chronicle the life, the rise and fall of a person that are also musicals, like in the Broadway sense of musicals. And both of them are arguably animated movies. We have 2 movies where there's an animated seductress named Honey. We have 3 movies where a mentally ill fan kidnaps a pop star and tries to burn the pop star alive. We have 2 Southern Gothic action musicals about supernaturally endowed blues guitarists. How on earth? We have 2 movies that play with diegesis because the protagonist is not quite hallucinating a dead girl, and a movie that does the same thing with a dead guy. We have 2 foreign body horror movies about radical self-surgery to appease toxic female beauty standards to climb the social hierarchy. We have 2 movies where a group of killers want to absorb individuality and force everyone to conform, so they attack a dance party in a barn. We have 2 movies about musicians where an Irish guy begs people of color to open the door and let him in, only to lead to a fight. Both Mission Impossible and Final Destination brought back a long-running black guy who dies and gives a speech about the importance of life and living the way you choose. We have 2 video game movies that feature portal fantasies where you have to run from technically not zombies, but if you survive until dawn, you're safe from them. But in the meantime, you have to run away from monsters in a dungeon inside an underground mine. And we have 2 movies where an evil pharmaceutical company wants to harvest a majestic, not real animal. The characters argue over the ethical implications and possibility to help humanity, and then it becomes a non-issue when the creatures kill the characters who represent the pharmaceutical company. What on earth? How do we have this many of these very tight coincidences? How do I have this many nickels? So, do we have too many movies? No, because we don't have any Batman horror movies yet. Yes! Follow me on YouTube and Blue Sky at Movies and Heists for more movie love. You can get these videos a week early and help fund these videos at patreon.com/moviesandheists. So special thanks to these patrons for helping to fund these videos.